Article headline: Despite troubles, Oregon farmer won't leave land. By Joanna Bigger. Maturity News Service. Printed in the September 1992 issue of Senior Spectrum. Ed Kroenig laughs that he's not quite 70, meaning he's 67. Arid when he laughs, the laugh seems a piece of him, as much as the deep seams in his face, the worn cap stuck forever on his head, or his eyes, blue as the Oregon sky. As much as he seems part of the land. But when he says he's never going to quit farming, never leave that land, you know he's not joking. Others of his generation have gradually pulled back from the rigors of working this fertile corner of the Willamette Valley. Some, like George Deere and his wife, have turned the farm over to their children. Some have lost out to big landholders and foreign companies that threaten the way of life of small farms. And some, like Joanne and Frank Sadelich, have sold their spreads, built a new home, and discovered the joys of RV travel. But not Ed. I went fishing up there in eastern Oregon for 3 days once, but them fish didn't interest me a bit, he declares. I'm gonna kick the bucket here, he grins, leaning his thin as a rake frame on the fence outside his barn. The cows make him speak loudly over their mooing. I just got too much left to do. If he ever had an inclination to leave, it would probably have been 3 years ago, when the barn burned down. Nearby was a shed with bicycles in it, belonging to his hired man's family. Something combustible in that shed, Ed says. And the north wind was blowing 25 miles an hour, and it was 100 degrees. I tried to get the loader out of the barn. The milk goats were bellowing, so I cut their strings and they jumped over my head. 30 head of Hereford there, too. Had no insurance on it, he says matter-of-factly. So I rebuilt. Long ago, in the 50s, he built by hand this small white house, where he now resides with his mildly retarded half-brother Harry. He built it so his hard-working mother would at last have a decent place to live. Most recently, he built a warehouse that is the envy of farmers for miles around. With effort and ingenuity, like using old bed springs to reinforce the concrete floor, he was able to complete it for a mere $6,000, rather than the $25,000 it would have normally cost. What he put in instead was 3 years of hard labor. But Ed comes by that naturally. The son of German-speaking Russian immigrants, he was born on a neighboring farm. His father died when he was 4. Most of the young guys around here inherited, Ed explains, but I didn't. I worked like a beaver. Working too hard is also the reason he gives for remaining a bachelor. When the subject of his reputation as a ladies' man comes up, a shy kind of look comes over Ed's face. Ah, no, he says. I was just trying to make a buck. The rest of 'em was out spooning, and I was pushing a mower. He hired out to other farmers and even worked in logging to lay aside a little money to buy land. Bit by bit, acre by acre, he accumulated his 350-acre spread. In addition to farming, he took up beekeeping and got quite a reputation for that, too. In fact, he's been called on more than once to rescue folks from unwanted insect infestations. But for those and other acts of kindness, Ed refuses pay. Don't ever charge the needy, he declares. And he turns back to the main subject at hand, which is also the subject of his life, farming. It's a gamble, he explains. It depends on the weather. Then Ed pushes back that cap and says that, despite 7 years of drought, the cherries are good this year. Gonna do fabulous at 39 cents a pound. And the hay, clover, alfalfa and wheat are looking good, even though the legume cover crop didn't do well. Meanwhile, there's haying to be done, and in August, the oats and peas to be swathed. As Ed Kroenig climbs up on a tractor, the adjoining farm is visible behind him. And, rising like an alien on the horizon, is an enormous house, still unfinished. The $3 million castle, Ed calls it. It belongs to the millionaire son of a 90-year-old Scottish sheepherder. The father wants to keep running sheep, but the son, like other big money people, wants to buy up the land for a tax write-off. He wants to buy me out, too, For $1 million, Laugh said. But what would I do with $1 million?